Today, I'm going to be doing a Q&A and answering questions that you have asked over on my Instagram to try and educate you on the life lessons I've learned during my ongoing 7-year career in Formula One Esports World Championship. Along that time, winning 2 Drivers' Championships, 1 Team Championship, and 1 DHL Fastest Lap Award as well. So, with that being said, I'm going to do my best to answer these questions as honestly, transparently, and as informatively as possible for you at home to try and excel and also accelerate your learning process as well. With that being said, let's get into the first question. So coming in with the first question, with the knowledge that you know, what should you have done different in your career? And to answer that, it goes into a multiple
Oh, it's Timbo.
And I think the first thing that I would have done is understand that everyone has an agenda. When I was younger, I did not even understand this, to be honest. And to elaborate on what I mean is everyone has an agenda, and mostly people's agenda is to win. Regardless of the role that you're in within the team, mostly everyone's agenda is to win, if not everyone's agenda is to win. Unfortunately, some people confuse their agenda with a lack of ability to put positivity into the team, and as a net result, they end up with a negative working environment towards the team members. And this can have a massive spiraling effect, and often the best performing team and the best performing situation can be the people who understand that, yes, we have an agenda to win. This is combined within everyone, but also we have a ability to produce positivity within the team that will net help the team results as well. Second point on that is be careful where you place yourself. Even if you know what to do to provide results, try to place yourself around those who have a similar mindset on how to achieve these results. Otherwise, the team synergy will be harder to gel. A team bonded on a aligned mindset generally will perform closer to the maximum potential. In summary, surround yourself with people who want the best results, but also can understand how you want to go about getting those results. Generally, I've been extremely fortunate with the people I've worked with, although probably some people don't want to have their name on camera, on the video, so out of respect to these people, I don't want to say their name on the camera without their permission, but I think these people know who they are, and I'm, to be honest, really honoured that not only have they improved my life as a driver, but also as a person as well, and have a positive influence on me daily. You know, the lessons that they taught me is something I'll hold for life. On the final part is people who care about you often will tell you, stop working so hard, don't push yourself. And to be honest, screw that. Work as hard as I want to and dedicate myself to the maximum potential performance, and throughout that process find out what I'm truly
well done. Round of applause.
That's where I find my happiness, and when there's no more performance that is left untouched and unfound, and that's where I find myself completely satisfied at the end of the qualifying and out of the races. Again, to elaborate on this final point, a lot of people will tell you this out of pure care and love, and sometimes maybe their perception of it can be what they...
Oh no, Timber, come on, be nice!
But often someone who's so driven and so happy to dedicate themselves like I am to racing and to finding my peak performance. I also do this in running. I can go out running for days, 17 hours. Like, I'll go running 20 miles just for fun. I love extracting everything out of myself, and that's where I find my peak happiness. Some people find it in different ways, but that's definitely how I find mine. Question 2 comes up with how dedicated do you have to be to compete at a high level? And the way I can summarize this and say this is skill will take you to near F1 esports, maybe even F1 esports if you're skilled enough, but dedication will keep you there. Skill will give you the roller coaster ride all the way up the ranks and be able to be scouted and integrated to some very high level teams. But once you get past sort of PSGL standard of F3, F2, and you're starting to border on to the academy ranks of the Formula One teams, you will need the dedication to be able to work day in, day out, and ultimately grind for those final 2-3 tenths of a second. I've seen it many, many times in my career that you can have an extremely, extremely talented junior driver. Doesn't even have to be junior. You can have any driver in general come up and can be super, super fast, can be within 3-4 tenths of F1 esports drivers, but ultimately it's that final bit of dedication, mindset and grind that will carry that driver to have the ability to have a long and flourishing career at the highest ranks of racing, or generally any part of sim racing as well, not just limited to F1 esports. Moving on into our third question, how hard was it to win F1 esports during 2017 and 2018? So these were completely separate, different challenges, and I'll touch upon more of the 2017 championship later in the video when the question is actually a bit more relevant to some of the subjects that I'm going to talk about. But 2017 was a very unique challenge, what was extremely difficult because I was training and working as a chef in the build up to the championship, and during this time, as people who know what work in the chefing industry, the cooking industry, it's very long hours. So I was doing 100, 110, I think from the top of my mind, 120 hours was my peaking hours. We were very, very short staffed in the kitchen, so it was very challenging and grueling for the kitchen staff to pick up those hours. So basically, yeah, I was working these quite insane hours, to be honest, per week. And I started seeing that the F1 Esports World Championship was to be announced, and the semi-final and the grand finale. I was, of course, league racing back then. I thought, okay, I believe that everyone in their life gets at least one opportunity to do what they love and what they're passionate about. So I saw this opportunity as my golden ticket and my open doorway towards a life that I could craft myself within racing. Took the opportunity and basically trained my absolute socks off in the build-up for it in the semi-final, and I said to myself, okay, if I do well in the semi-final and get through to the grand finale, I'm going to quit my job, put all my eggs in my basket, and go full send in the grand finale. Come the semi-final, I put it on pole position, won my first semi-final heat, won my second semi-final heat, and was on my way to Abu Dhabi. Phoned up my boss the very next day and said I quit and I want to focus all my attention towards this grand finale in Abu Dhabi. He understood, respected my decision, and I'm really grateful for that. He was an amazing boss, an amazing person, and someone definitely that was pivotal within my career for, let's say, that step happening. Elaborating on from that, I didn't even have a passport at this time. I had never been out of the country prior to Abu Dhabi. So Abu Dhabi was literally my first ever time being on an airplane, first ever time out of the country, and with that being said, jetting all the way across the world to Abu Dhabi and just basically putting myself in a situation of throw yourself in the swimming pool, you either sink or swim. And yeah, I decided to swim on that weekend and was able to win my first world championship. After that, I flew home and I think I slept almost for a day straight. I was completely exhausted, drained, but wow, a lifetime of memories. The 2018 championship was a completely different kettle of fish, was a completely different challenge. Being now involved with team, the constructors, was involved in the process of the World Championship, versus 2017 was completely individual. And to be honest, I'm extremely grateful to Mercedes and the agency that ran the team back then, because they helped me realize a dream and to become a two-time world champion. They put a really good funding, they put a really good structure behind the scenes for the 2018 championship, and really helped boost me and to really help put me in a position that I could show my best. And yeah, it was a very different challenge, some of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life, to be that composed, to be that sorted, to be that calm under the pressure and the scrutiny that was involved in that. But yeah, I'm really proud to say that I was able to do it twice. I'm still pushing for the third, of course. But yeah, it's something that was one of the hardest things I've had to do in my life, but some of the proudest moments I ever maybe will get in my whole life as well. Our next question flows in pretty well with how do you deal with pressure before and during the race? And for me, dealing with pressure really comes down to a situation of how prepared you can be. I think an unprepared mind can be quite skitterish, can be quite scattered, but I feel like the better preparation I do and the more confidence I have in that preparation that has been done, I don't really tend to overstress in that situation. I think when a situation that could have been prepared for isn't prepared for, and that goes for all of the team around me, if there's situations that we should have prepared for but we didn't, then I think the pressure is a different thing, because then you're relying on more things to go right. But the more prepared you are, the less things you need to go right to win. And that's the way I look at it, that the more off pace someone is, or I am, or the team is in general, or maybe the strategy is not ideal, the way I see it in that situation is you need more things to go right to win. Whereas the faster you are with a raw pace and raw capability, the better the strategy is, and better the intricate details of preparation have been, the less stuff you actually need to go right to win. So the way I look at it and elaborate that in my mind is, okay, right. So the better preparation I do, the better preparation the team does, the better preparation everyone does around us in the team, the less stuff needs to go right to win. Of course, you still need a lot of stuff to go right to win, I have to say that point, but it needs less things to go right to win. For example, in real Formula 1, if you have the slowest car on the grid versus the fastest car on the grid, of course, if you're on the slowest car on the grid, technically it is still possible to win, but you need a lot more stuff to go right for you to win in that situation. So really the pressure that I feel before and during a race is more or less just down to the preparation that I've done. If I prepared well, I don't really feel much pressure at all. If I have not, or the team has not prepared well, then again that pressure is a different level and it's a different feeling while going into the qualifying laps and going into the racing laps as well. In summary, confidence in the preparation can breed success, in my opinion. Leading on into the next question, how do you deal with mental in terms of having bad performance and how to deal with that? It depends where the bad performance has came from. If it's something that you performed really well on and you feel that you executed the situation as good as possible, then it becomes a lot more easy to process that bad performance. Whereas, for example, if the pace has just been outright bad, or the stuff has happened without reason, or without understanding why something could have gone wrong, then it becomes more difficult to break down why something has gone wrong and the reasons for that in that process. So the way I see stuff is, if something hasn't gone to plan, understand the reason, understand the process, and then make a after action report on how to break it down, then improve it for next time. There's always an answer and there's always a fix to a situation regarding performance. Even if the light at the tunnel seems very far away, it is always possible to elaborate on what has gone wrong, come back, make the building blocks in your mind stronger, so when you face the same problem the next time, you are more prepared and have more mental strength to overcome that previous problem as well. Jumping into my second to last question for this video, what are the qualities you need in order to be successful in life? I think firstly we need to understand and define what is your definition of success. My definition of success is happiness, purity, honesty, dedication, and ultimately working towards the goal of having more and more knowledge of life. My ultimate goal and my ultimate destiny that I want to have in life is that when my time runs out in life, and I don't know when this can be, ultimately when that time does come, I want to be able to reflect on my life and say with true honesty and purity and dignity to say that I did the very best of my life that I could have with the information I had at given times and given checkpoints within my life. So with that being said, I live my life with a complete no rubbish tolerancy. I live my life purely on the basis that I want to fulfill every second. I want to make myself proud of every day that I do in the world, and ultimately with the knowledge that I have with every day that goes by, I have no regrets to something that I can do. And this is why I love the stuff that I love. This is why I love running, for example. It causes extreme pain, agony when I'm out doing it, but it makes a lifelong lesson of satisfaction and pride, and to be honest, proud of those achievements that I can do of running 100 kilometers in 17 hours and 5 minutes, to run a marathon in, I think it was like 4 hours and 5 minutes with 4 weeks of training. And it's like, these things in life is what I define as my level of success. What I define as my success is pushing myself to find the ultimate purity within my body, to find the answers that I'm looking for. And when I'm out on those runs, when I'm out pushing myself in a race, I believe in the saying, the stopwatch never lies, and ultimately I find a new level of depth and honesty, purity and respect for myself with the answers that I come about during my life. And I start to, I think the brain is often knotted up with stresses and difficult decisions in life. And when I'm pushing myself hard and living this ethos of just pure honesty, pride and respect with every day that goes by, it helps me to undo those knots in my mind, and ultimately that's what I define as my level of success. And I think my advice for anyone else in life looking for their success is simply define what your success is. Define what you think success is, no matter how that looks to other people, and then work towards that goal, and ultimately dedicate yourself and your life to what you think will make you happy, pure, and ultimately give you a fulfilling life along the way. And that's how I think I go about success anyway, defining my success and how I believe success can be generated for other people. Going on into my final question of the video, and one what really hits home for me, to be honest, and something that I alluded to earlier in the video about 2017. So the question is, my parents don't support me and I don't know if I'm good enough. I am 14 and I'm pretty much lost. Any tips? So I'm going to answer this question by giving a bit of background on me, and then throughout that I'll be able to give advices and tips once I'm able to say a bit of my background. So my background is quite simply, and I keep it away from social media and don't talk about it a lot. But the truth is, I grew up with an abusive father until 2007 when my parents separated. In that time, I will not go into all the details on this video, but yeah, it's not a nice situation, let's put it that way. And although I love and care for my mum dearly, she did not support my racing at all with sim racing, and thought I should be doing a conventional thing, and critiqued me for my dedication towards playing, in her quotation, just a video game and wasting your life, unquotation. So although I love my mum dearly, like I already say, we've already spoken about this, and there's no hard feelings between me and her in that way at all. So nothing to speculate or to elaborate more on that part. But naturally within that process, I was so dedicated to racing and fulfilling my potential within driving that ultimately I decided, okay, if other people are not going to support me, I'm going to support myself, and I am going to make this dream happen by myself, as I will be the only person that is offering support to myself. And if that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. Some people get loads of support and have people in amazing situations that people will support them no matter the circumstance, and I'm really happy for them. That's fantastic. But sometimes in life, when you are the only person that sees the vision, the only person that has the determination, grinding, grit to be able to do something that you want to do in life, that can also be a magic ticket towards ultimate mental toughness, the ultimate ability to drive and do it for you. And that's my advice to you right now. You're 14, you're young, you have lots of time, and if you are so passionate, dedicated towards any goal, it might be in sim racing, it might be any other goal in your life, if you are not going to be supported, ultimately you have to do it for you at that point. You have to find a way, have a mental structure, mental toughness to push through and ultimately be the only person at your party, the only person at your celebration, and the only person that can make a difference ultimately when the stopwatch is on and it's time to qualify, to race, to get across that finish line as the fastest time possible. Would it be great if you had loads of support from loads of fantastic people and loads of people threw maybe a party for you every single time you did a pole position, a race, or people were cheering for you no matter what happened? Yeah, it would be nice in some way, but there can also be a power within your situation to drive yourself forward and be the person to make a difference for you, and you to be the person making your difference. And that is the advice that I will be able to give you today, is become amazingly dedicated and focused towards your goal, and then throughout that process I believe you can find the ultimate level of perfection within yourself, and that can allow you to grow and flourish as a person as well. And this is a bit more backstory on me. Again, I was so focused towards driving, but in the UK we have secondary school, and this goes, we call it from year 7 to year 11, and this is basically the final years of mandatory education, and at least it was that way when I was in education myself anyway. And between the years of year 7 in our schooling year and year 11, I did not go to a single party. I did not care about partying, in fact. All I wanted to do was think, focus, and deliver on track and become a better driver. So in my breaks, in my lunch, all I would think about is car setup, car strategies, how I can trail brake better. In fact, I was watching Driver 61's videos on my phone and understanding how to do better as a driver. So big shout out to Driver 61. He was already helping me all the way back in 2012, 13, 14 to grow and develop. Literally, I was spending hours reading internet articles about weight transfer and strategies and how tires degrade, develop, and change over a racing situation. And yeah, I did not go to a single party. I did not go to prom. In that 4-year space between year 7 and year 11, I think I probably went out with my mates after school probably between 15 and 20 times. If that's it. That's even saying conservatively. And this was my approach, this was my level of dedication, and that does not work for everyone. Some people like to party, some people like to do other things. But this is my level of dedication, this is my level of approach, and this is what I do to make me happy. And that's the process that I did. So in the summary of it, if you're not going to get supported by other people, be the first person to support yourself, and do it for yourself and act for yourself and become the best possible person you can by relying on yourself in these circumstances. With that being said, hopefully this video has been informative, helpful, and you have enjoyed this bit more insight as well. With that all being said, I've been Brendon Leigh. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Grazie, ciao, bye bye.